Hello Starcraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Smile and Randöm on Moonlight Madness, the latter edition. This was sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com, and it is billed as the closest game of Starcraft 2 I have ever played. So I'm expecting a very exciting match, and thank you for joining me today. In the top right of Moonlight Madness, the latter edition, we have the Red Terran player. It is Smile. And in the bottom left of Moonlight Madness, the latter edition, we have the Blue Zerg player. It is Randöm, representing TL, which might be Team Liquid, but I am not entirely sure. I don't recognize the name Randöm, and usually Team Liquid players go by Liquid, so probably not that case. Anyway, this is a TVZ on Moonlight Madness. This map doesn't get used a whole lot. I feel like most of my games are on Terraform. Orbital Shipyard is also very popular. I think a lot of people do have Moonlight Madness voided, or rather vetoed, in their map pools, and it's just kind of a weird map that way. There are a lot of attack paths. This base up here is usually taken as a third by the players. You'll notice there are two ramps into the main base, which is really super annoying for most people, except for the fact that this ramp cannot be accessed unless you knock down this debris here or this debris here. The attack paths require you to go from this ramp or from this ramp in order to get to this ramp. And so you can also knock down the rocks, so it's fairly safe. It's not a crazy two ramp into your main base type thing that everybody hates because they're going to come in and kill you, but at the same time a little bit annoying, and I think that does cause a lot of people just to veto this map altogether. So it was a hatch first into extractor into spawning pool here for our friend Randöm. Smile, on the other hand, representing Laikela, I hope I'm saying that correctly, is going for the barracks here, probably going to be a Reaper expand. Again, Reapers are not super effective in the early game against a Zerg that knows what they're doing, but it is able to get scouting information off. If it's lucky, it's able to get a few drone kills at the same time. Just depends on when the Zerglings pop out, how greedy the Zerg player was before they got their spawning pool, because that determines when the Queen pops and when the Lings pop to deal with this. So, actually getting a reactor on this barracks, so not entirely going for Reapers at all, not even a tiny bit. Getting a double reactor or refinery here at the same time. So looks like a 1-1-1 build, possibly with a few Marines for defense early on. There was a slight pause there, but no big deal. In other news, I am planning on starting a Bronze League Heroes type cast on my channel. I'll post one video every Friday night for a third cast on that day. That will just be lobby stuff. It'll be for fun. It'll be for education for those people who are new to StarCraft. And I hope to have a fun time with that. So if you are a bronze level player and you have a really fun game that showed some new stuff, or just something maybe that is a little bit crazy but don't see on the channel every single day, go ahead and send it over. I'll have Squeaks, my screener, check that out, and hopefully we can cast your game. That'd be really fun. Also, if you are submitting a replay to falconpaladin@gmail.com, include your Twitter handle or your Twitch stream, just some way that I can give you a shout out in my channel, because I like to give back to people who've helped me out. You'll notice that when I post professional replays, just kidding, we actually got two Reapers. I'm such a liar. Alright, two Reapers coming out. They are going after some slow Lings here, choosing instead to kill them instead of go to the main base of Randöm. But meanwhile, while this is happening, just again, what you want to do is, if you do send me a replay, send me your Twitch handle, or your Twitch stream, or your Twitter handle. And the Ling actually did get in here. Smile let the Ling inside to get the scout off. Does see the barracks here, the triple barracks coming out. That implies some level of aggression here from the Terran player. That's very, very interesting. Could be like a mass Reaper. This would be so weird. Anyway, so yeah, send that over. I'll link it to you. I'll quote you, or I will tag you in the tweet that I make on this particular video that I cast of yours, and that way everybody's happy. You can know when you got cast, and people can follow you and check out what you're up to at the same time. So either way, we have 4 Reapers coming on. I haven't seen this for a while. A mass Reaper play that doesn't usually seem to work out, but there are Speedlings on the map. Not that many of them. They're getting massacred by these Reapers. Queens are a better choice, but their Reapers are actually doing a good job abusing the map here, going up and down, and just kind of bouncing around, being kind of annoying right now, but they can't really get in there and do too much. If you take a look at the units lost here, 5 Lings have died, which is a fair trade for Randöm. I feel like he's very happy with that. Getting a creep tumor is nice, though. That's something you always want to do with Reapers. Prevent that creep spread, prevent that map hack, as Husky used to call it, and just allow the Zerg player to, or not allow the Zerg player to have as much vision and speed as they could possibly want. Continuing in production, there are a lot of Marines. There's Stim coming out, a tech lab on the way, and a factory. So now a factory is coming out here about the 4-minute mark, which is a little bit late, to be entirely honest, for Terran players. The Reapers are scouting around at this point. I don't think they can jump over those debris unless they KD8 charge themselves over there. Saying hi to the Artisalope and the Tastealope and moving on by. There we go. Jumping down here, over here. to the third base. So Reapers can actually get in here without killing that debris. That's something you have to consider. Lings running on out. Is the wall secure here? It is not secure quite yet, and the Lings get a full surround on that bunker. Nope, not quite. Run away as more of the Marines do show up there. There's a single queen, but she can't handle this many Reapers. She's trying to get out of there, but ends up getting killed instead. Blood soaking into the creep there. The Lings coming back home to play defense, saying with the Reapers show up in the main base, we are in a lot of trouble right now. Baneling Nest on the way for Randöm, and a Roach Warren. Nope, I don't see a Roach Warren anywhere here in the production tab. There is a lair, so maybe Mutalisks to deal with this Reaper harassment, but again, there's a lot of Marines out here. Smile's doing some weird stuff, man. Starports, factories, barracks, more refineries on that second base. Overlord checking for a third. There's not one there. Good Overlord spread here from Randöm. Still trying to spread that creep. Has 4 creep tumors here. Look how fast that spreads. Holy cow. That's something Blizzard did want to do, is make it so that creep spreads faster but dies faster when the creep tumors die as well. So it's kind of a trade-off. I mean, I need to test this out. Look at this. Watch. So creep tumors come on in. It takes a while for them to actually pop up. I think it's probably about 20-25 seconds or so, if that. And, oh, come on, let it finish, let it finish, let the other one finish. No, didn't let it finish. I want to see the creep spread. There we go. So these ones are going to spread, and it's just so much faster than it used to. But here comes the push from Smile, trying to set up here, getting all these creep tumors, again, pushing it back, being super annoying. Didn't get this one, probably could have. Only 8 hit points on that particular tumor of creep. And heading on out here with Marines and Marauders and Reapers. Strangely enough, sending Marines over to try to handle the Zelnaga watchtowers, but Lings are getting shots in here. And if Ling gets it shot in first on a Marine, it could possibly kill it. Could it be close? No, the Marine does survive with 5 hit points. And this one gets killed in revenge by Zerglings. Zergum, a lot of Lings and slow Banelings. If the kiting is good here. Oh, KD8 charge used on the Banelings as well, knocking them back, taking 10 points off their health, but not doing quite enough to get rid of all of the Banelings there. Pushing on up are the Lings, just kind of delaying the bio on its way to the base. The Banelings need speed so bad. They're trying to get back to the base. The Queens are off creep. Not a good place for them to be either. Banelings are getting sniped on down. Queen's taking shots as well. KD8 charge knocking the Queen toward the creep, which probably was not the intent of the Reaper there, but whatever. Needs to make a Queen here again for Randöm. Please make a Queen there. More and more Marines heading out across the map here. Pooping creep on the third base. This command center will be so disappointed. There is nowhere to land at this point. Marines, Marauders, Reapers, again moving on in, finding a free Overlord, killing that one. Has to feel pretty happy about himself at that point. More creep spread? No, kind of gave up on the creep spread, did Randöm. Keep it up. Keep it up. You have to keep injecting too, man. The injects are not looking good right now on your bases. Banelings rolling in. Centrifugal hooks is being researched, but it's kind of a far way off. He really needs that to happen here. Getting +1/+1. Very, very nice. More and more Lings. This bio ball is getting a little bit big, a little bit concerning. There are still Marauders and Widow Mines now moving out across the map here. This is a terrible, terrible composition for Zerg players to deal with. Lurkers, I do prefer Lurkers as a particular strategy. And watching this creep recede here again, just very, very quick in Legacy of the Void beta. So again, I did post on my Facebook page about how the beta will end on November 2nd, and the retail version of the game will pop up on November 10th, which means there will be about an 8-day lag where I won't be able to see replays. KD8 charge knocking some stuff over. Banelings crashing on a Marauder, not even killing it. The Lings do pick it off though. Pretty good splits here. All the Banelings are gone. There are just some Queens here left. The Terran player probably should push onto the creep at this point, but he looks a little bit worried about doing that. Reapers pushing on in, getting chased away by Speedlings. They are so fast, especially on creep. Holding the top of the ramp though, here is Smile. Anyway, I was going to say there is a week's delay between the end of the beta and the beginning of the retail. So I'm going to go ahead and get a buffer up. I will continue to have 2 casts per day, except on Fridays, while I'll do that Bronze League Heroes type thing. So go ahead and send your replays in. Send professional replays if you have those, and everybody will be happy. Marine, Marauder, Corruptors flying in, Mutalisks flying in, Banelings with speed, connecting a little bit here. A lot of those Marines are very, very low on health. The Zerglings are picking off individual Marines and Marauders as they try to retreat. The Corruptors are killing Medivacs as well. And the last final Marine here does end up dead. Small another group here getting surrounded at the same time. The Marauder getting killed as well. Medivac getting picked off from the ground. Widow Mine shot. Get 7 kills on those Marines. There's another attack here. A drop with Marines. They do have +1 attack. They are a little bit scary here for these drones going after extractors. Very intelligent choice. Zerg players do need gas to handle Terran players at their best. Here comes some Lings. Here comes some Corruptors. The Corruptors, if they can kill that Medivac, would be a good pickup. Mutas flying over, trying to get it, but no. Dropping the Marines to deter the Mutalisks from falling. The Mutas don't care. and instead they get killed. So Corruptors are a bit harder for Marines to kill. The medevac does end up dead, and now these Marines are stranded. So if Randöm is paying attention, he could bring over some Lings and take care of these guys, but I'm not sure he really wants to do that at this point. So it's 3 base Zerg against 3 base Terran. Not a good place to be in if you are Randöm. Randöm needs to make something happen here. He's replacing the extractor. He has a lot of money, but how much larva does he have is the question. And about 10. Not that much larva because the injects have not been fantastic throughout this game. Queen, inject. Queen, inject. You have enough energy to do this. Another push coming on out here. Taking some shots to the face. Are these Zerglings? Widow Mines burrowing in here as well at the top of this ramp. Oh, Ling shots. Big old Ling shots. And Widow Mines killing so many Banelings, so many Lings. But the Bioball is a little bit smaller, I think, than Smile wants it to be. He might just retreat here at this point and hope not to be caught out of position. These Queens, what are these Queens doing? Queens, you're so weird. Anyway, fully retreating, taking care of the Lings that were chasing them back home. More Lings show up, though. The medevacs boost off, leaving the Marines behind. Can there be a surround? Yes, the Marines do get a surround. The medevacs come to pick them up, but there are Corruptors. And the Corruptors are definitely trying to kill those medevacs in the air, which is a good decision here. I kind of like Corruptor better than Muta in this particular matchup. I know they can't shoot down, but they do have the Caustic Spray ability, which does emit a stream of acid that deals 7 damage per second for 4.3 seconds, then increases to 35 damage per second. It is a channeled ability. They can't do anything else while they're using the Caustic Spray. I'd like to see that in this game, if that's at all possible. This drone tried to take a base, but there are so many Marines here. They are overstimmed as well. These Zerglings should be able to make quick work of them, and indeed they do. All those Marines getting cleaned up. I'm not sure if they even killed a single Zergling here. A lot of Banelings coming in. +2/+2 on those Lings. +3/+3 on the way. If there's one thing Rand has been doing well here, it's getting upgrades. I like to see this from the Zerg player. +2 Lings getting through this is a little bit easier than +0 Lings, as you'll notice the health on this debris quickly going on down there. Looks like Smile does recognize that's what's going on, and so he's coming up with some Widow Mines at the place here. And Widow Mine shot might actually try to connect on something here, and it does, killing some Zerglings. Woo! Pretty big shots there as well, getting a few Corruptors. Corruptors still going after medevacs. Lings running on in, Banelings crushing on in as well. They want to catch these guys in that choke point. They stim away. They try to run for their lives. It's a pretty good split on these Marines, but is it good enough? There are so many Lings, so many Banelings here. Everything falling, the entire army. There are now Lings in this base crashing into all of the SCVs. So many SCVs died there. Much of these are low on health as well. Some Marines trying to help things. Contamination being thrown down on these barracks because why not? At this point, Queens here as well, trying to add additional DPS to this battle. This is a little bit insane. There are Lings rolling on in, trying to kill production buildings. There are Marines and Marauders still being produced from these barracks, though. Widow Mine shots could be very useful as well to the Terran player. These Queens are not in a good position. These are Marines, these are Marauders. They're trying to transfuse each other to keep themselves alive. SCVs being pulled off the line to try to deal with these Queens as well. There's another drop here at the 3rd base. A few Marines have completely locked down this base here as well, but a replacement hatchery is here. It is 96 to 85 total supply. The Zerg player is ahead, but losing these Queens is not good. Look at these transfuses being put down on the Queens here, but eventually 2 of them fall, and the rest of them are going to fall very shortly as well. They're trying to transfuse to keep themselves alive. This Queen does have 4 kills, but she too dies as her corpse rolls down that ramp. So it's a bit of a reset here. The Marines did take care of the hatchery, but the Ultralisk took care of them. Ultras are here, man, with +3/+3 and chitinous plating on the way. This is going to make them very scary for the Terran army. Although Ultralisks are maybe as good as you would expect them to be, but without all that armor, it still takes a while for them to die. So right now, a bit of a reset here. It is 49 to 42 workers. It's 96 to 100 supply, a little bit more even than you would expect. But that's what ZVT is like. As a Zerg player, if you don't actually kill the Terran player when you get in there and kill SCVs and kill workers and kill buildings and their army, if you don't actually kill them to the point that they leave the game, they can come back so quickly because of mules. They can get back up that economy that they need. They can macro up another army fairly quickly as well. Not as fast as Zerg can, assuming they have a bank, but they can come back from the dead, which has happened to me more than once as a Zerg player. Creep spread here. This is like 10, 12 creep tumors. They need to spread that over, get that going towards this other area. The army coming down the south side of the map. The north side, though, is all Ultralisks getting this planetary fortress before it can finish, and they do. Caustic Spray being used on this planetary fortress. It is enough to out DPS these SCVs, especially with the Ultralisks joining in. A Corruptor dies. All of these SCVs die as well. It looks like Smile is just going for it, though. He instead is pushing over. There's a single Ultralisk here trying to stop this Bio Ball. That is not going to happen at all. The hatchery falls almost immediately to these +2/+2 bio units. +3/+3 is on the way. Ultras continue to pop out. They decide to come back home instead of pushing on in for the kill. You don't want to base trade against the Terran player. Ultralisks coming from everywhere, though. It is a scary sight, getting fully surrounded by these Ultras, just crushing the Marines and the Marauders. Queens trying to finish off the remainder of these bio units, adding insult to injury here. This small group of Marines is still here on the creep. The Ultras are a little bit faster, and yes, using the Kaiser Blades to rip them down. A final Marine is left on the ground, gets killed. 2 Marines did manage to escape in that medevac, but only 2 survivors to tell the tale of that time. 100 Ultralisks came out of the ground and just destroyed them. You know what? I would like to see Ultralisk burrow someday. That's kind of a fun thing that you don't see a whole lot, because they can burrow, right? Pretty sure they can. They used to have that burrow charge back in the beta of Heart of the Swarm. As the rock tower gets knocked down, the Ultras can't get through that very well. There's Defender mode being thrown down for Smile. Defender mode does pretty well against Ultralisks. Corruptors are here, though. They're trying to get the Liberators. Don't manage to get it, though. They can get 1. Yes, they do, but there are still 3 left. They decide to go after the Corruptors instead. The Ultralisks have completely locked this base down. Smile is down to 2 total bases right now. But guess what? There are attacks over here as well. So many drones are dying. I'm not sure how Randöm is paying attention or not. The Ultralisks managed to get into the main base. The Corruptors are chasing away the Liberators at the same time. Marauders trying to find a good place to stand and engage. It might be here at the bottom of this ramp. It's a good place. The Ultras going after the bunker, making quick work of that, but taking shots from these Marauders, from these Marines. The Marines are really not a concern at this point because these guys have 8 total armor. The Marines do nothing against them. Defender mode being used on these Ultralisks. There's a small group of Widow Mines down here just making sure new base does not get taken. Smile is going for the base trade at this point. There are Ultralisks everywhere, and there is still Defender mode being used by these Liberators. 85 damage. Ultralisks have 500 hit points. It takes a while for them to die, but again, 3 shots on an Ultra is something a Terran player will take any day. Marauder gets taken down by those Kaiser Blades, chasing them on the creep. Again, they do have that speed boost and taking every single one of these bio units to their graves. And there's just action all over the map right now. Ultralisks killing everything. A small group of Marines trying to take down that hatchery all by their lonesomes. Queens trying to run for their lives, trying to take out these Liberators, because that's really all that is left here for the Terran player. Production has completely stopped. Units tab is going to be our friend for the rest of this game. Widow Mine shots, again, getting shots against those Ultras. What is left is 12 Ultras, 1 Corruptor, and 3 Queens against 4 Liberators and 2 Marines and a medevac and 4 Widow Mines. Who's going to win this game? That Corruptor is very, very important because the Terran player can lift off his buildings, and if he lifts off this, and the Zerg player can't reproduce any more flying units, and all that's left are these land Ultralisks, then there's no way to kill these buildings, and the Terran player is going to win, or it's going to be a draw or a stalemate, which is not what anybody wants. Liberators are Overlord hunting. It doesn't really matter. Randöm has 91 supply, and he's pretty happy about that. 91 to 24 supply. Those Ultras are very, very supply heavy. I believe it's 8 supply per Ultralisk here. This orbital command is on the ground. The Ultras might try to find it here. I think everything else for the Terran player is lifted off right up here. Only 3 buildings left. This orbital might get lifted up if Smile is paying attention. I'm not sure what else he would be doing right now. Lift it up. Oh, he doesn't lift off the orbital command. No. Bad places for him. Overlord explodes, falling to the ground. The medevac is doing its job, healing up these Marines as they stim and try to take out everything they can find here. There is a Widow Mine with 1 kill, getting shots off again on these patrolling Ultralisks. The Overlords need to get out there and find where these buildings are so the Corruptor can kill it. Where's the Corruptor? Corruptor, be active. I know you want to hide from these Liberators, but get out there, find stuff, start killing buildings. But again, the Liberators can just set up a defensive perimeter, I think. Right, a defensive perimeter on these buildings so the Corruptor can't get in close enough. Boy, I don't know. The Zerg player is in a bad spot here. Again, nothing in the production tab right now. Resources lost shows 16,900 minerals and 2,700 gas lost for the Zerg player. 23,000 minerals and 3,800 gas lost for the Terran player. So a lot of gas. Surprising number of gas lost. 93 SCVs died. Woo! That's a lot of dead SCVs. Smile if he was... I'm not going to say if he was smart, but an orbital command lands here. If I were him, I'd put a Liberator or 2 in defense of these flying buildings. Is there anything? Still nothing in the production tab here. The Ultras are defending their own buildings. Randöm has enough money to make to make a drone, but the question is, where do you put it? I'd be throwing creep spread out, using these queens for stuff. I mean, if it was a straight head-to-head battle, I feel like... No, the Liberators, there's just really no way to kill them. The Queens, if they're microed amazingly well, might be able to get them, but just seems very, very difficult. Indeed, Overlord spread again. Ultralisks, Overlords trying to cover every single base the Terran player could be at, and doing a good job of it. There's nowhere the Terran player feels safe landing. Liberators using Defender mode again on these Ultras. Run, Ultralisks, run for your lives! And they do run. The Queens getting shots off on those Liberators. Hey, every shot you can get on a Liberator is a Liberator that is that much more close to dying. That much more close? Nope, that much closer to dying. I would still be spreading this creep. Wouldn't mind here with 7 kills. Wouldn't mind here with 2 kills. Marines going to town on this extractor. They can afford to stim because there's still a medevac here to heal them and only them. There's enough energy on that medevac to handle that. This Widowmine keeps killing, I think keeps killing not locust, larva. Because it does actually trigger on larva. They are considered units. They show up in the units tab. This command center tried to land, took some hits from this Ultralisk, picked up and ran away again. Starport here on the high ground. No way Ultras can get to that, right? So maybe the Starport could... No, you need supply depots for that. There aren't any of them available on the map for the Terran player right now. So how... Oh, did they take out that Widowmine or did it reburrow again? Widowmine, where are you? Units tab. Widowmine, 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 Widowmine. Oh, it burrowed up here on this ramp. Okay, a better place to catch units that are moving around than back here at this hive, wherever it was earlier. Oh, here's the drone. What's the drone? The drone is long distance mining. All right, so these drones are going to try to make it happen here for Randöm. He is out of minerals. All he has is these 2 drones that are available. If the Liberators show up and use Defender mode, it's going to be the end of it. For the Zerg player, we'll have to see if he can handle it or not. The Corruptor is trying to chase these guys away, but they do have anti-air. The Queens trying to keep the Liberators away from these drones that are long-distance mining from these mineral patches that have 395 mineral patches left here. Liberators going after this Corruptor. Defender mode being used on the Queens as well. Transfuse on the Corruptor. Keeping it alive. They do get one of the Liberators, and they get a second Liberator there. Oh, that was huge for Randöm. Amazing, amazing micro there. Transfusing the Corruptor, using the Queens to take down the Liberators, transfusing each other to keep them alive in the face of these Liberator attacks. There's 2 Liberators here. Widowmine shot on that Corruptor, again being transfused once more. Liberator stands in and fights and dies. And now the Marines are trying to kill the Corruptor. At the same time, Corruptor going after that medevac, letting them go. That was massive. All that's left now is a Liberator, 2 Marines, a medevac, and 3 Widowmines for the Terran player. Meanwhile, these 12 Ultras, the Queens and the Corruptor are what are making the difference right now in this match. Medevac coming on over again, maybe trying to drop the Marines in a place where they can deal with this long distance mining, but no, they cannot. Boosting around, and with the fake out, the Medevac comes back around, taking shots from the Corruptor. Again, that's not what you want to do. Transfusing the drone to keep it alive. The Medevac is dead. The Marines are dead on the ground. Can they kill the drones? The drone hides inside an extractor, transfusing the drone once more. The Ultras come in and they catch the Marines and kill both of them. Holy smokes. Amazing, amazing play there from Randöm. All that is left for the Terran player are 3 Widowmines and a Liberator. Here at the 23-minute mark, the Liberator needs to win this game all by itself, but the Queen Corruptor crew, I think, is enough to take care of it. No matter what it tries to do here, the long-distance mining continues for Randöm. Is he making more workers? He's spreading creep. I can see that on the production tab. Where exactly? I think right here. So I just don't know what you do if you're Randöm. You have enough money to make another drone. I guess you might as well make one. There's one on the field. Did the Marines get one of those? I didn't think they did, but I think... I didn't think they did, but I think they did, if that makes any sense at all. This drone is the only drone available. It continues to hide inside that extractor, coming back with gas. I'm not sure why he's harvesting gas here, but... there it is, landing the starport and trying to land this orbital command somewhere. It will fly right past that Overlord and make its presence known. That is not a good place at all. Liberator has 0 kills and needs to be the hero for Smile. It needs to make something work here. Drone count still very low. Randöm has enough money to make a drone. I'm not sure what he's saving up for. There's not any available supply either. possibly to make an Overlord and then go for something else, but the Orbital Command trying to land here, but there's creep. And nope, landing outside a little bit farther than it would like to be, throwing down so many mules. The Liberator here is to play defense on this base and kill this Overlord as well. The Ultras are trundling up. They want to kill this Orbital Command so bad. With all of their soul, they want to kill this Orbital Command center. The Ultras trying to break down this debris decided to help. Oh no, actually going for the Orbital Command instead, forcing the liftoff. And here comes that Corruptor, getting shots off on the Orbital Command, bringing it down to yellow health. The Liberator, I'm not sure, with +1 armor versus a Corruptor with no upgrades at all, who wins that fight? 14 damage versus the Liberator. The Liberator does 14 damage of its own, 7 damage, 2 attacks. But the Liberator has 180 hit points, and the Corruptor has 200 hit points. And the attack speed is 1.36 on the Corruptor. Liberator attack speed 1.29, so a little bit faster as well. It would be so close. Ladies and gentlemen, a single Liberator versus a single Corruptor, I really think it would come down to who got the first shot off. I really do. Oh, and there's a Viking here for Smile as well. I gotta watch that production tab, I guess. Cloak. Oh, Cloak is on the way, and there is a Banshee. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, Randöm, you're in such a terrible spot right now. The anti-air is happening for Smile. Was able to, what? Okay, landed the Orbital Command. That provides the supply that the Terran player needed to make these units. Oh, Randöm, there it is. Randöm is making an Overlord now. Still long distance mining. Doesn't have enough for another drone or another Overlord. Is there still a Spire is the question. I think that's, yes, there is still a Spire. That seems very, very important here. But at this point, the Banshee, I think, can just kind of clean up, especially if it has Cloak. Are there going to be Overseers? But with the anti-air, I don't know that it really matters. So here comes the Banshee, and I think Randöm can see it, can recognize the problem here. Trying to kill this drone. There are a lot of transfuses being thrown down, but the energy can't last forever on these queens. Yeah, the Banshee is very smart to continue doing this, continue to forcing the queens to waste their own energy. Still available for the transfuse, and nope, the drone completely ends up dead there. Smile. Very happy about that. The Orbital Command is forced to lift off. Once more, production tab has fallen silent. Again, Smile currently with 14 supply might actually end up winning this game. Banshee taking shots now. Widowmine hitting that Corruptor. The Banshee's out of energy. The Corruptor needs to kill this so bad. Overlord hunting is the Liberator and the Viking. The Corruptor on its own, I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. If it does have the transfuses from the queens, but the queens use all their energy keeping that drone alive. They're trying to regenerate it as quickly as they can, but only one of them, it looks like, has enough energy to make that happen. This Banshee Viking Liberator combination might be exactly what Smile needs to do this thing. I really don't know who's going to win this game, ladies and gentlemen. It is too close to call. The Orbital Command coming out. If I was Randöm, I'd probably be following this Orbital Command with a Corruptor or an Overlord or something, just so I know where it's going. It's the only Orbital Command left for Smile here, trying to find a nice place to land. There's an Ultralisk here, there's an Ultralisk here, there's an Overlord here that should be pooping creep, if nothing else. Again, minor battles here, getting shots off on that Liberator. They can't really repair at this point, so it is just a tough space to be in for both of these players. Such a stressful situation. I know if I was here, I'd be like, just going crazy with worry, trying to win this game. But part of me saying it's only one ladder game, just go ahead and take the loss. But the other part of me having so much pride and saying, no way, I want to win this thing. I want to beat down my opponent. Corruptor again getting shots off. That's all that it really needs to do. The Banshee going after the queens now. Transfuse happening on the Corruptor. Is it going to be able to kill that Liberator? I think it's going to chase it down here. Getting one more shot might be enough to kill the Liberator, but it's running for its life. The Corruptor chasing after it here. The move speed, I think, is faster for the Corruptor. It is a little bit faster. Energy on the Banshee, still about 20 left. Hasn't been able to kill anything. I think it killed a single queen and that drone, which is fairly nice, but not amazing. So low on health are these units. More resources are needed, or a mule possibly. A mule call down would be nice to heal these guys up, to repair these guys up, or... Yep, there's that creep pooping once again. Here comes the Ultralisk. I don't know what it can do. I guess it can prevent the Orbital Command from landing, but there's a Banshee again and a Liberator here. Yeah, that Banshee wants to kill the Ultra. It'll take a lot of shots to do it, but she has all day. She has the patience. to make it work. The creep is slowly starting to recede. That Liberator is very low on health. Only 30 hit points there. I think 3 shots from the Corruptor is enough to kill it. 2 is not. More Ultras are coming on in. The Orbital Command lands and then lifts off immediately. The Corruptor trying to kill stuff, but taking shots from the Vikings. Run, Corruptor, and a Transfuse at the last second on the Corruptor, chasing back the other units. This reminds me of Brood War. Back when Micro with small amounts of units was everything in the early game. This is the very, very late game, but the same principle is applying. Whew, excuse me, I had to take a drink there. Almost at the 30-minute mark for this TVZ game. Production tab still is silent, so nothing's coming out from the Terran player. That Liberator, Banshee, Viking combo is exactly what needs to happen here. Finally throwing down the mules that are needed to repair these units. No, mules, you only have a limited amount of time. There we go. Coming over to the Viking to repair it. They need to repair the Liberator as well, if at all possible, but they're running out of minerals very, very quickly. I think they might be able to repair the Viking a little bit. They're getting the Liberator a bit as well, kind of spreading around that healing ability. Oh, but the Corruptor has free reign on this Orbital Command, and it's burning down now. Oh no, the air units abandoned their Orbital Command. The Corruptor found it and is going to be able to kill it. The Orbital Command is going to fall into the lava below, and then all that is left for Smile, no money left whatsoever. A factory. A starport. No, 2 starports. That's all it is. Oh man, can he do it? Can Smile do this, or is it going to be Random's game to take? That is going to be the big question, ladies and gentlemen. Ultralisks flying around again, trying to find stuff to kill. I guess flying is not accurate here, but Smile has not rebuilt their base and is being revealed, which means these buildings are now visible to the Zerg player. Yep, can see them on the ground there, on the ground there. Is it just a base race at this point? Oh, another Transfuse on the Corruptor. The Corruptor has an infinite amount of healing that it can do here. Oh, that's amazing. And there is no such thing available for the Terran player. This is crazy. Every attack that the Terran player takes brings it lower in hit points and closer to death. But every hit the Corruptor takes, it can be healed. It can be healed again by the Queens. There's no such thing going on as well, which is why the Banshee desperately wants to kill these Queens. The Queens are running for their lives. They need that creep spread to help them get to where they need to go. And it looks like the starport was taken down by the Ultralisks. This starport here cannot be accessed except by a Corruptor using caustic spray. This is insane. Random doesn't even have enough money to make Transfuse. Oh, clutch Transfuse again. Is the energy running out on this Banshee? Oh, Widowmine catches one of the Queens. There are only 2 Queens left. 3 Queens with such a better position to be in for Smile here. Running back, the Banshee recognizing she is almost out of energy. Moves on back. Very, very smart on her part. Queens, Corruptor, rather. Is that all that's left? All these Ultralisks, 2 Queens, and a Corruptor versus Liberator, Viking, Banshee. And the Banshee has Cloak. I really think that's what's really making the difference here. Oh, Starport is flying around now, being followed by these Ultralisks. We'll see where that Starport wants to go. Can the Corruptor just go kill it? Is my question. Where is the Corruptor? The Corruptor doesn't want to go too far away from the Queens. I don't think it recognizes how important it is to be healed up by these guys. The creep spread is very important here. Making the Queens have access to all parts of the map is pretty much what you need to do. There's not really a way for Smile to kill those creep tumors unless they're visible during this stage here, because they don't have Comsat, they don't have orbital scans, they don't have any Ravens. There's nothing available for the Terran player yet. Oh, the shots being fired on the Starport. The Starport trying to run for its life here. The anti-air army is way down in the south. Come back here. This Corruptor slowly, 14 points of damage at a time, trying to kill this Starport. And no, Smile, what are you doing? You have to try to make this work. Smile is heading out now, trying to save the Starport. If it starts to burn down, that's it. Random wins this game. Oh, Widowmines burrowing on in, though. The Ultras need to take those hits. They need to get in and take the hits from the Widowmines. Very, very smart. There's another one here as well. Take the hit, Ultras, and indeed it is. Banshee trying to kill the Queens on the ground, trying to kill the Corruptor. The Corruptor taking shots here and does get the Viking, but the Banshee is still a big threat. It's burning down, and that's it. Good game called from Smile. Smile's defeated, Random's victorious, and Smile has left the game at the 33-minute and 58-second mark. That was it. The starport was burning down. There was no way for the Terran player to win this game. He knew it and left. Wow, that was an amazingly close match. Thank you so much for submitting that to falconpaladin@gmail.com. I really appreciate it. Again, what did that really come down to? It was basically a base race. Again, the attack with the Lings and the Corruptors and the Banelings was massive in the early part of the game. But once again, if you don't kill the Terran player, they can come back. They are zombies, and come back the Terran player did. Some good drops, managing to kill a lot of stuff. Widow Mines down here as well, managing to make things happen for the Terran player. Eventually, both players found themselves with no workers whatsoever, a very small amount of workers. The Terran player lost most of their buildings very quickly as well, and then it's turned into a micro battle. It just turned into Smile trying to make things happen with his eclectic group of units. Banshee, Viking, Liberator, Widow Mines was what he had left to deal with, and all these Ultras were basically useless except for when they weren't, when they came and baited the Widow Mine shots to keep the Queens alive while they were chasing that starport. And all the transfuses that Randöm did, just brilliant, brilliant play. Some of the best micro I have seen on my channel. So thank you again for that submission. Thank you for watching this today. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw today, because I don't know how you could not. Again, just amazing, amazing play here in the Legacy of the Void beta. Whew, just so exciting. You can also catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, you take care of yourself.